Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the nitty-gritty of all things hockey. From the East to the West Coast. Here are your hosts, Matt Pierce, Nikosh Ganguly, and Darius Dominguez.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gritcast. I almost want to say Happy New Year, but it's January 19th.
You can. This is your first show of the year.
Happy New Year to those listening or watching. Last week's episode was recorded, but it didn't go up because I was sick and we couldn't get a thumbnail for some reason.
It did go up. It did end up going up. I made a thumbnail and it went up. Yeah.
Oh,
that was also 2 weeks ago.
I'm a bad co-host. That
was also that was a while ago already, actually.
It was what, the 4th, January 4th?
We recorded on the 4th and I uploaded.
Yeah.
It's crazy because we're talking about the World Juniors and it's like a week later. It went up.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though.
Sweden lost. The state kicked the shit out of them.
Who's gonna win?
I'm saying that's the thing with when we do sports shows. It's like you gotta record it and get it out in like an hour. Otherwise, it's gonna be outdated. So sometimes when we have these days where we record and then for some reason it sits on YouTube unlisted for 5 days, obviously our viewership is not gonna be as good as when we're talking about something like a prime topic. But guys, that being said, Matt, Darius, Matt, how are you doing today, man?
Good. You know, it's January. It's the dog days of winter right now. I think in my car this morning when I went to work, it said minus 27. I was like, winter sucks, man.
Damn, like, minus 27 over in Manitoba?
Yeah, this morning it was
cold.
Bad.
Dude, it was minus 10 today. I went outside and I've been really sick the past week.
Same.
I'm better. I'm a little bit better now, but I walked outside and I was like, dude, what the fuck? And I'm the type of person who I don't really layer up for winter. I'll wear a little. This is literally what I was wearing outside. Today, a hoodie and.
Because you're not outside for long. I get it. If I'm outside for a long period of time, I'll layer up, I'll bundle up. But if I'm in between places where I'm
sometimes I'd be
outside for less than 10 minutes, I'm fine.
I'm regretting it though. We'll park out. We were just at Walmart. We went to Walmart with my mom, and dude, even the short walk, we parked right beside the fucking building.
Yeah.
And I was fucking. I'm like, God damn, bro. Also, to be fair, in the time I was sick, I also went to California. We'll get into that
talk
later.
about that. Oh, okay, or later.
We can get into it now. We'll get into it now. Fuck it.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'll get all my voice out, but dude, because I was sick and I went to California, I didn't feel the weather change because I wasn't enduring the weather as it was changing. So today when I went outside, I also went outside yesterday for a doctor's appointment. I was like, damn, bro, that's that real January weather.
It's for anyone if anyone's listening to this who lives in the GTA though, it's surprisingly cold out of nowhere this week. Because it was plus 5 till Monday.
That's what I'm saying. The thing is too, people are like, oh, you live in Canada and this happens every year. I'm still fucking cold.
Yeah, right.
My body's, I'm not a fucking what is it, amphibian? You know what I mean?
Manitoba, it's 2 seasons. There's minus 30 or there's plus 30. There's no happy medium.
And
it's it's the extreme.
Plus 30 is too hot.
I'm fine with that. It's just the humidity that gets me.
Are you guys team minus 30 or team plus 30?
Minus 30.
Ooh.
Because you can layer up, but with the hot weather, you can only take off so much.
I go out of you guys. I have a pool. I'm team plus 30.
Okay.
Listen. I understand Matt's point, but I'm gonna go plus 30 as long as it's not humidity and all that shit, right?
Yeah, but if you're at plus 30, man, you're gonna get humidity. Come on.
No, but if it's not where it's feels 50 or some shit, right?
That shit is nasty.
It's disgusting. No, we had that 2 summers ago. It was feels 48 or something. It's
muggy.
What?
Yeah.
So if it's not like that, then yeah, plus 50.
COVID. Stay in your house because of COVID. Yeah.
I will stay here with my air conditioning.
Let me get into the story of my past 3 weeks of my life, because it's been fucked. So, I guess almost 4 weeks now, actually. So, around Christmas time, I actually have the date, December 22nd. I was out for dinner with my family, and I started feeling a little bad.
Disaster strikes.
Y'all know that meme where it's when your throat's hurting, you take a sip of water and it didn't go away? That's what happened. Yeah. And I was like,
it's oh, doomsday. Shit. The doomsday clock has arrived.
And we brought 2 cars, so I looked at my dad. I was like, "You got to give me the keys. I have to go. I'm gone. So I was, so I told him I was for the next day, December 23rd. The next day, 12 hours, I was cooked. It was over. So I was sick that day. For Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I was literally in my bed, lights off, just chilling. Didn't see any of my family. Christmas basically didn't happen for me.
Can I just say before you go on, I feel really bad because like that sucks.
It sucked.
Yeah.
You wait the whole year for that, and then it's just taken away. Yeah.
Well, the thing is too, it's like you get all the build up, like you're buying all the gifts, like you're getting in the spirit, and then it's just like imagine like building up to your birthday, and then your birthday just doesn't happen.
It just skips.
That's what it felt like.
Some people experience that with COVID.
Yeah, exactly. No, exactly. So that happened. I was sick. I had an infection, and I eventually got antibiotics. December 26th, I got antibiotics. So I took them the 26th, the 27th, the 28th. December 29th, I had tickets to the Travis Scott concert. The general admission in the mosh pit, early entry. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it was a $700 ticket. It was really expensive.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Damn.
It was expensive.
But no, like the amount of like hype you had, like just for this concert was unbelievable.
Well, did you guys see the video and all? You guys saw the videos and all the photos I got. Like it was fucking.
Yeah,
dude,
that was
crazy.
nuts.
I keep seeing TikToks pop up from like different cities.
Yeah.
Too. It's crazy.
But,
like that whole stage setup was cool.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so sick. It's like the whole. Yeah, it's cool. But so the day of the concert was cool. I was actually good for the concert. Like I was chilling. Got a bunch of videos and stuff. Travis Scott is my favorite artist. So for those that are listening or watching, so I saw him. It was cool. 30th, whatever, 31st, whatever. January 1st, me and my dad flew out to California. So that's a 2-day turnaround, right? So first day was whatever. I saw the Leafs were in Los Angeles. I saw a win there. They actually beat the shit out of them. It was a good game. Then the Leafs were in Anaheim the next day. That was a crazy game to watch because the Leafs put up 50 shots and won like 2-1 in overtime. Matthews scored. Next day, I went to Disneyland. That was a lot of fun. I got a Lightning McQueen Piston Cup, which is cool. It like spins around. It's fire. And then I also got this Infinity Gauntlet, which is cool as well. You press this one, lights up, and it's actually a little cup holder. So you put this in here.
That's hilarious.
Powerade,
oh my god.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So this was the thing is too, right? You go to the gift shop, they have like the replica ones of these. Like these fingers don't move. They don't move. But they had like the replica ones. They're like $200, $300. This was $40. You know, it was. You know, I'm not saying it's cheap.
Welcome to the Gritcast.
Grand, right? So that was the conversion there, and then so I get home that Friday. It's January 5th. We get home on January 5th. The next day, I'm going to the other Travis Scott concert in Toronto because he had one on the 29th and the one on the 6th. So I come home from LA. I basically sleep, wake up, and go to the concert again, right? So that concert, I was sitting way higher up, like 300s. The ticket was like $140, a little cheaper. And then we went to for those that don't know, there's a nightclub in Toronto called Rebel. It's fucking way far away from the main city. It's near the pier, near the lake. So we went there after. That story was because we Ubered there from the concert, and then it was like sorry. Travis got an after party there. Let me explain why. I don't go to nightclubs, so let me explain why I was going.
Party animal.
So Travis went to Rebel after and performed like 6-7 songs, which was sick because I was literally like right in front where he was performing. And it was like another concert for $60 almost, which was cool.
It was only $60 because he was there, right?
Yeah, that's why it was so expensive.
Okay, yeah.
Usually, I think Rebel's like $20.
$20 probably, yeah.
Yeah. So the after party ends at 2:30, right? We walk out. It's cold. You're by the lake. There's snow everywhere. It's slush, and I'm trying to order an Uber and a Lyft. I was with one of my best friends. His phone is dying, so I'm ordering. None of the Ubers and Lyfts are coming, by the way. So we had to take a taxi, and they were overcharging us because they knew people had to take taxis. And then so we took a taxi from Darius. You know where Paulson Pier is?
Yeah.
So that's where it is. That's where Rebel is, if you didn't know. So dude, a taxi from Paulson Pier to Union was $60.
Oh my god.
Dude, it's like,
oh my god.
It's like a 10-minute drive.
It's not even like you're outside of the city yet.
No.
It's kind of east, you know?
Well, me and my boy, we looked at each other and we were like, dude, fuck this. I'm cold. So we split it, so it's whatever. We get to Union. It's 3 o'clock now. It's 3 o'clock. Union's closed. We can't even go inside. So I kept ordering a Lyft, right? So I was ordering a Lyft. Nobody was getting us. So now my boy's phone is dead. So I don't have the Uber app downloaded, by the way. I just haven't had it. So my phone's at 10%, by the way. At this point, so I download the Uber app on data. I ordered the Uber and the guy's 15 minutes away. So we're sitting, Darius, outside of Union on Front Street, no matter where like the drop off is,
Yep.
the cars and stuff. So we're sitting there just balled up, just waiting for the guy to come. Because my boy has an apartment in Toronto. So we're just gonna go there.
Which, by the way, if it's windy, that area, not fun.
Oh, dude,
so if it was windy, not ideal.
It was brutal, but we got to my boy's house at like 4:00. It's 4:00 in the morning right now, and we were so like pumped on adrenaline. We literally sat on the couch. We were up till 6 in the morning. It was crazy. And then I woke up at 10 o'clock. And my sister had to go to the airport. She was taking a flight somewhere, so I took the Up Express and just met my dad there. We drove home, and then 2 days later, I got another infection. So I was out for a week again. I was out because it was Sunday night, the day after. And me and my boys, we went to go get dinner, or not dinner, just like, we went to go chill at like midnight. And then I got home, I'm laying down, I'm like, dude, I feel like fucking shit. And I had my blood test the next day. So I wake up the next day, I'm cooked. It's over. I'm cooked. Get my blood test done. Then I went to the doctor after. The doctor said it's just a virus. Doesn't give me any antibiotics. I'm fucking dying. Then 4 days ago, we go back to the doctor.
Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the...
And I went to the doctor yesterday for my blood test, and they found the traces of the infection in my blood, which was the craziest part because the doctor originally didn't give me antibiotics. I was literally laying in bed just like thinking about killing myself, That's how bad it was. But guys, with that being said, I am gonna wrap that story up there because now we're back to today. I'm glad to be back with my friends on the podcast. Darius, how are we doing today, man? I already asked Matt.
Great, man. I don't know. We're here. We're chilling. I'm glad to be back on the show with all three of us here. It's been a while. I enjoy the discourse and all that stuff. I enjoy getting on here every week. So we'll get into it. Lots to get into too. And I mean, there's a lot going on with hockey. So
I know Darius has been very opinionicated about the Leafs the past couple weeks.
Let's fire right into that.
I think I'm reverting.
If you see Darius tweet, like a long
phenomenal.
Because he's not on Twitter that much, but
I never really. So if I tweet, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? Like
a long. Some of them are like a good paragraph. So the Leafs last night they came off a win against Calgary. Austin Matthews got a hat trick, but prior to those games, they lost to the Oilers. Hold on, let me see if I can remember this. They lost to the Oilers and they lost to the Red Wings. They lost to the Avalanche and then they lost to the Islanders. They had leads in all those games and blew them all. A lot of questions about Keefe, about the superstars. Nylander is not playing great after signing his huge ass contract extension. I don't know if we talked about that on the show, but
I don't think we have.
No, I think we missed that actually because it happened recently, fairly recently.
It's come and gone. It's come and gone in terms of us being able to get engagement on it.
It was like the worst kept secret though. We all knew that was happening.
Yeah. 11.5. Y'all already know. But he hasn't been playing great since the contract. Tavares, I don't know what's going on there. And Darius, how are we feeling about the Toronto Maple Leafs over the past week and a bit? How are you feeling about the Leafs?
This team, okay, I'm a fan. I've always been a fan, and I want them to win. Let me make that clear. I don't care if Dubas gets fired. I'm a fan of the team. It doesn't matter who comes and goes. I want the Toronto Maple Leafs to win. This team is as fraudulent as they come, all right? They are not, I swear, they're not going anywhere, bro. And if you think that they have a chance, this team this year, to do anything even remotely close to what they did last year, which was pathetic in itself, you're lying to yourself. You got delusion going on, all right? They're not good enough. They have way too many problems in every position. Although I think the forwards are probably the least problematic. If they didn't have Austin Matthews, they would be a poverty franchise in the bottom 5 of the league, like easily. Like look at the stats. It's bad. And the guy they signed just in case is now your starter, right? And he's been playing good, but notoriously has terrible stats, and it's
playing great.
He is playing great. I can't knock him. Right? Because he is a big reason as to why they're like kind of in there anyway. But the problems are like the same every year. Has nobody like woken up to that? Like every time there's issues and they're like, this is a glaring issue. It's like, oh, that was a glaring issue last year, the year before that, the year before that one, the year before that one. It's all the same. It's all the same. And I've been going off on, YouTube. You can check me out on YouTube. About the same thing. Like I think there's a huge disconnect between president, GM, coach, and the players. Nobody is like, hey, I have an idea. Oh, that sounds great. Like, it's just like all shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happens behind the scenes, but just in terms of what we can see, I don't like any of it.
It just seems there's no accountability being
That's it.
taken by anybody. They're like, hey, we have problems. We're not really gonna fix it. Let's just keep on trucking along.
So there was
Like
that
the Marner
Marner,
quote.
the Marner
There's the
quote.
Marner quote.
I feel like was taken a little bit out of context, a little bit, because of the first line. He goes, obviously we're pissed off, but I feel like Leaf fans are so like unlike every other fan base where they're so like in tune with the team and every little thing they do, that I feel like him saying something like that is like insulting your intelligence. So people get even more mad. You know what I mean? Like the whole heel turn thing that they're talking about with Marner. Like it's a thing now because he says something like that and people are like, do you think I'm stupid? Like, I'm watching the game, bro. Like, that's not what's happening. Oh, I think we're a good team. We're playing good hockey. No, you're not. Like, you lost the game. What are you talking about? You're up 3-0 and you're playing good hockey? You lost. How? How is that good hockey? Not to me.
It's because a lot of the defensemen are cooked.
Yeah, okay. Dude, we got to talk. Okay. Morgan Riley's good, right? Why is your second best defenseman?
Timothy Liljegren has been playing.
Has been great since he's come back. I agree. He's been good. But why is your two best defensemen in my eyes? Okay, and I might be wrong, and people will roll their eyes.
He's gonna say Simone Benoit.
Is Simone Benoit and Morgan Riley? Why? Why is that though? That's not the way it should be. Simone Benoit on a Stanley Cup championship team before this year shouldn't be on your roster. A, even though I love the guy, and B should be like a sixth guy, right? Like why is you're literally? I'm not joking. He's your second best defenseman right now. Why?
Here's I'm gonna get into it too. Here's the thing, right? Do you make a signing, you get John Klingberg, right? Let's open up this can of worms. You get John Klingberg, and the goal is, well, we have these good forwards, right? First of all, William Nylander, I think he's a great player, amazing player. I think one of the best, most fun players to watch in the league.
Yeah.
You pay him he's the highest paid winger in the NHL, maybe a little bit less than Artemi Panarin, who puts up 100 points a year, right? I think that contract's not good, but at least you kept him. I think that's the media narrative they're trying to put out there, right? Oh, we kept him, right? Because they're afraid to walk away from people, which is a problem in itself. But I think you signed Ryan Reeves to 1.35, and right now first of all, he's been injured, but he's been regularly practicing as an extra.
He's not injured anymore.
Yeah, it just seems like it just seems like not gonna play, and that took 10 games, less than that. Like people were done with Ryan Reeves in the second week of the season because he had fights in the first three games, and then just stopped.
And nothing happened.
Whether his hand got injured or something got injured, whatever. John Klingberg, you bring in. I feel like there's more. You could convince yourself of that signing more than you could convince yourself of the Ryan Reeves signing. Klingberg has a history of being a minute muncher, a lot of point production, playing with good players. You bring in more okay, Klingberg is smart enough to get the puck to these guys like Marner, Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander. He stinks. First of all, he was bad, and I don't know what happened with his lower body, but it ceased to exist essentially. So he's done. There's been no replacements. You bring up, like you said, Darius. You bring up. Simone Benoit is not the same player as John Klingberg. So
and not that he should be, but
no, not that he should be. But think of the roles they're trying to have everyone play, right?
Yeah.
From the top to bottom, the player who could replace John Klingberg's skill set hypothetically is Connor Timmins, but he doesn't want to play the guy either. He doesn't want to play the guy. And I know a lot of people are ragging on Connor Timmins. I don't think he's that bad of a player. I think his mistakes get really. I don't think he's that bad. I think he's fine. He's fine.
In terms of what fine? Like, bro, he's the only player on the Leafs roster, including scratches, that every time he's out there, I'm like, he doesn't know what he's doing.
But it's like sometimes I think there's flashes, is what I'll say.
Okay, sure, yeah. No, I'm not saying he's like the worst player all the time.
I'll agree with you. I think in terms of our defensemen who should be regulars, Benoit and Lagesson are better. I'll say that.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, aside from that, now, I think. What a lot of Leaf fans realize when Dubas got fired is that Shanahan runs this team, right? Brendan Shanahan runs this team. And today, you can get into all that stuff about Tavares being bad. It seems like regression is really caught up to him. Nylander just being shit since he signed his contract. Marner just not even looking the same regular season wise, and Matthews being a dog. The bottom of six, none of these guys do anything. None of them do anything.
Like Domi and Bertuzzi are just passengers along for the ride.
I
That's
think
what I've
Domi's
noticed.
my problem is too, like with Bertuzzi, it's like he's controlling play well, getting all these chances, but at some point, man, you're tired of the act. It's like, dude, put the fucking puck in the net. You know, you get
Yeah.
tired of it. You get
Yeah.
tired of it. Noah Gregor, I heard someone talk about this. You know that meme of Russell Westbrook's like Pat Bev trick y'all, man. He just running around. That's fucking Noah Gregor, because he just be skating back and forth. So,
But I actually don't mind that because him and like McMahon, for example, when they get out there, they dump the puck in and then they're like hitting guys. And I'm like, well, yeah, you know.
I just think Gregor stinks. I think you could call him an
I don't think
NHL
he's.
guy
I don't think he's
and
that.
really
I don't think he's a point of like I'm not gonna get upset.
No,
over
it's
Noah
it's
Gregor,
it's
right?
not. It's not. It's but it's the same thing with like the Ryan Reeves thing. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mad over the fourth line. All of a sudden, the guy's on the ice for 10 goals. It's like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
going
then it's
on?
a problem.
Anyway,
And then there's like a guy like Nick Robertson just like sitting in the press box for no
stop
reason.
playing. Well, Keith fucking hates him.
Yeah, there's something about Robert. I think he's a great player, and I think he's going to be a great player wherever he ends up because it's not going to be on the Leafs. But there's something there. They don't like him.
I'll tell you what the problem is. I feel like a lot of these players who are supposed to be skilled in their NHL career, and they're not like top prospects get more leeway to make mistakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
For example, but
Unless
Nick
you're
Robertson is
Alexander
like,
Holtz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Got flamed.
Nick Robertson's second round pick, right? Supposed to be, maybe tops out as a 25, 30 goal scorer the way the league is going in terms of offense, right? But they're not allowing him to make mistakes. There's a lot of plays where I'm watching Nick Robertson and I'm like, you're trying a little too much, but I respect that you're trying. But Keith doesn't want that from his third line. But then again, you have Max Domi and Calle Yarncrook on there. Like, Max Domi sucks defensively. He doesn't do anything. He puts up a lot of points. I think he's a nasty passer. It feels like every time he's in the ozone, he's making a cool sauce to the front and fucking whoever's on his wing can't put it in. But
I think, sorry to cut you off, but I think it's a lot of like the roster construction and then the deployment, right? Because I mentioned to you guys too, like the other day, the game against the Avalanche that they lost. The best Maple Leaf that night was Max Domi, and he played 9 minutes. Why if someone's going, why aren't they playing more?
But it's like Tavares and Nylander have been terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Tavares.
They're getting caved.
One guy I'll group into with Tavares too, and I think it's the type of thing where you're like, we're fine, and then a season goes by and you're like, we're fine, they're still very good, and then more seasons go by and you're like, well, they're still in their roles, but they're older, and now they're like, they're shit, they're regressing, right? Tavares and Brody, what happened?
Yeah, Brody dropped off
this year, especially. Like last year, you can kind of see it.
But the thing is, Keith is like, let's keep playing him 23 minutes.
That's what I don't understand. That's what I don't understand.
It's like you have to adjust the minutes, right? Matthews and Marner could play 29 minutes every night. I bet they could.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But let me get into this quote from 32 Thoughts that I saw on Twitter today. I'll take this with a grain of salt because I'm reading this. This might be Freeman getting radioed. Because I didn't listen to the show. Here's the thing, Matt, and I want to ask you a question about this after. I think this relates to you a little.
Okay.
So the quote is, I think Toronto is thinking bigger picture. I don't think this is about this year anymore. I think they're thinking about where they're going. And then Freeman says, I really wonder deep down if this is an organization saying we are not good enough to win this year. First of all, you fucking made the roster. Like, this was you. You guys made the roster. And you're like, so Matt, I want to connect this to you because I had a tweet today that said it was hold on. It said I swear this is how Oilers management used to think about McDavid and Draisaitl. Because do you remember that Ken Holland quote where he was like, you can't trade a first every year even though you have McDavid? Do you feel as if there's a connection to be made between Leafs management and Oilers management right now in terms of wasting superstars' prime and not surrounding them enough? Because the Oilers eventually, I think McDavid had a quote about something and they were like, oh fuck. And then they finally put it together. I think that was kind of what happened. I don't remember if McDavid applied.
Sort of kind of, yeah. McDavid tried to toe the line between like not trying to criticize management while also getting his like full thoughts. Because obviously the guy's kind of a robot sometimes. But yeah, like Leafs and Oilers management, they're like, okay, we have two of the best players in the world. We'll just let them figure it out on their own without, surrounding them with talent. Like, that's not the way you do it. That is absolutely not the way you do it. You surround them with talent. I don't care. You're paid to make these decisions. Find a way. Other teams have found a way to do that. Like, the Leafs, like dumping Mrazek. They found a way to do that easily. you can find a way to dump Campbell. If it takes a first, sure, give him a first. It's going to be a late first anyways.
Who's
If
the
this
fuck?
team,
Who
yeah,
the fuck?
exactly.
Cap space is more valuable than that fucking 19-year-old that's gonna play for the team in 4 years. Who's
like
the
just
fuck?
do what the
At
Pens
this point,
did.
yeah.
Just do what the Pens did. They mortgaged their future, and they have
Cups?
three cups.
That's
Like
what
who cares?
matters.
Yeah,
Bro, the fucking problem
that's-
is these dumbass teams want to win the 29th overall Stanley Cup. Like, who gives a fuck about fucking this idiot from the WHL who's 18 and it's like, this guy's a project, but if he works out, McDavid's gonna be 37. Who cares?
Can I say one thing about the Leafs? We can move on to the Oilers though, but I want to put like a bow on it because you're mentioning management, but I think it goes deeper. So the players, okay. Say what you want about Shanahan. I think Shanahan, like this guy's had a job for what, 8 years, 9 years. They've done nothing, and everything's been under his overview. Make it make sense to me.
Somebody's avoided it all.
Make it make sense to me. I don't understand. I saw somebody say on Twitter yesterday, by the way, that Shanahan, I don't know if it's true. But nixed the trade to bring Marc-Andre Fleury and Brandon Hagel here for like Nyes and a pick or something.
Yeah,
and then somebody defended it by saying Nyes is going to turn into Hagel. What are you talking about?
You have Hagel now.
You could have Hagel now, and Nyes is never going to be Brandon Hagel. What are you talking about?
Respectfully.
And I think he's a great player. I think Nyes is a great player. Making a lot of mistakes recently, actually, but he'll figure it out.
he's young.
I think my
for
issue
sure,
with
sure.
Nyes is too. People have their expectations really high because he had a nasty playoffs.
Yeah.
The guy's
No, it's
like
his first
21
year.
years old, and you're playing on the first line. Like let's be for real
It's
here.
crazy. Yeah.
And the college season is so different from the NHL.
Like it's much
less
shorter.
games. Yeah. It's completely different.
Okay.
But to
I'm sure
backtrack,
they'll
I want to loop this into the Oilers because you're coming in. You've had very disappointing last 3 games if you're the Leafs. You're coming in to play the Oilers, who've won a franchise record, and it's a pretty good franchise. 10 straight at the time, I think, or 11. I think it was 10 going into that game.
It was 10.
It
became
was
11.
10.
Yeah.
It became
Yeah,
11.
and that was 12, but
That
we'll
was
get into
12.
that.
So you're coming to that game. You got to win. And then they went up 2-0, right? And then I saw things like Kane is burying Matthews. Nobody's doing anything about it, right? And they're getting
Bouchard and Nyes.
Bouchard and Nyes. That was a good little battle. And nobody did anything about that shit. The Leafs play with no heart, okay? I was watching McDavid, and I watched a little bit of the Seattle game last night too, the Oilers in Seattle. McDavid plays with his heart on his sleeve, man. Like he was getting in front of the net. He was roughing it up with Riley. I don't know if you saw that either. Like he was punching him in the head. Like
Didn't he
battling
try
for position.
Didn't he do some shit to Yanni Gord? And
Yeah,
Yanni Gord tried to fight
I'm
him?
gonna get into that in a second. As a comparison, I don't see that from Matthews. I don't see that from Marner. I don't see it from Nylander. Tavares was getting thrown around in that game too. Nobody's doing anything about it. Forget nobody else doing.
The Fogle clip is hilarious.
I know.
But,
yeah. Kiprios and all these guys talk about like, oh, guys got to jump in for guys like that. Man, stand up for yourself, bro. Like, I'm sick and tired of this shit, man. Start throwing your fists, okay? And I just don't see the compete and the heart from them like that.
You're right.
I just don't see it. I saw it from McDavid. He's the leader of that team. So, he's setting the tone, all right? Like, quite literally. And then last night, I'm sure Matt saw the Yanni Gord thing where he takes out, you got a...
Ekholm.
Yeah, Ekholm. You got the 5 minute or whatever.
Yes,
Who was the first guy in that scrum? Who was the first guy in that scrum as soon as he hit Ekholm? It was McDavid, your best player. The best player on the planet. The best player who's ever lived was the first guy in that scrum throwing hands. So
Like
I just don't see it from the Leafs.
his energy radiates through the entire team. And
Well,
from
yeah,
the start
lead
of the
by example.
season
You're
to
right.
right
Yes.
now, it's like you can see it. Like Ryan McLeod, like Darius, we mentioned this last episode, but you could probably see Connor like saying to McLeod, like, do something more with the puck, because in all honesty, all McLeod did at the start of the season, like I love the guy, but like he'd skate into the zone, skate around, and then force a pass into the slot that goes nowhere. But he started to do a lot more with the puck. He's starting to shoot more, and you can see a much different player because of McDavid. A lot of the other players, Fogle, he's been on a tear. Who else? Derek Ryan has been on a tear. Evan Bouchard has been on a tear. Zach Hyman, I mean, love the guy.
I think
like the whole team, you could just see like a big change.
No, I think when you're looking at a guy like McDavid, you're looking at a guy who
he wants to win.
I also think you're looking at a guy who tried to play the game a certain way, like the Leafs are playing right now, like in his earlier seasons. You know what I don't know if you guys you guys know what I mean? Like you're looking at a guy who saw the Avalanche win, saw all these teams win, saw Vegas win, and saw these guys go through the Oilers, right? You're looking at a guy who saw that and was like, I gotta fucking I gotta start playing like that. You know what I mean? Like he saw this happening, and internally, it's like, look, he tried to do this shit the right way. He tried to, not be an out here, just be full skill, lock in, be the best player, put him on 30 points. But then it's like, the game is rigged for quote unquote physical, dirtier teams. For example, like look at Florida, who made the cup finals. I'm sure McDavid saw that and was like, "What the fuck?" So now he's leading by example, being a little bit of a dickhead, which sometimes you have to be in. Every team, star players, like think of all the best teams in the league, right? You're looking at like a Matthew Tkachuk, a little bit of a dickhead. Sidney Crosby is like, he doesn't take shit from anyone.
Nope.
You look Vegas; those guys don't take shit from anyone. The Oilers, they're not taking shit from anyone. McKinnon does not take shit from anyone. But the Leafs, they're taking shit from people. It's like, what the fuck? I think going back to the McDavid, him, Draisaitl too, right? Even a guy like Nurse, I know you're paying him probably too much money. We don't need to rehash that. But he's not taking shit. You know what I mean? He's not taking shit at all.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Matt,
what's up?
I'll throw it to you. The Oilers have won 12 in a row. Chris Knoblauch has come in and made them. I don't know exactly what he's done. Stuart Skinner is putting up great numbers.
Oh, he like
wins,
just a far cry from the start. Yeah.
But Matt, is this a Chris Knoblauch thing or an Oilers regressing thing, or is it both? Might be both. What do you think?
Honestly, it might be both. I think the Oilers, they saw what happened to Jay Woodcroft, obviously, and they're like, oh shit, like let's start to wake up. And then I'll bring it back to my original point. McDavid, Connor wants to win, and like he won't be like a dickhead to the team. Like he won't be a hard ass captain, but he will let everybody know this is what we're doing now. If you don't like it, you can leave. And so the team has started to, remember who they were in prior years in the playoff runs of the past. But no, I think Knoblauch coming in, just like sort of calm the room and say, okay, the season's not like totally over. We can still do something. And then they realized that, and they sort of took it into their own hands with their destiny.
I would also say that your goalie not letting in every like fifth shot helps. I'm just might help a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's it's crazy how much it's amazing how much goaltending will impact how good your hockey team does.
Who knew?
Right? So it's a little important. That's why every Stanley Cup final goalie put up a 930 on the way. So it's always
like even some of the wins on the streak, like the game against Chicago, the Oilers got manhandled in that and somehow came out with the win because of Stuart Skinner. The game against the Wings won that because of Stuart Skinner, and it wasn't even the games in the win streak. You could start to see flashes of Skinner of years past against the game. Who was it against Winnipeg, where he out-dueled Hellebuck in their own building? I was like, okay, I can start to see where Stu's gonna go with this.
Who's the backup right now? Pickard?
Yeah, still Pickard.
Has he won any of the games on the 12?
I do believe he won the game against New Jersey, and he was also in net against Montreal, I want to say.
Jersey sucks. But
only because of injury, though.
A little. Losing Dougie Hamilton, but
everyone else is out too.
Like you said, Matt, let's talk about the Winnipeg Jets a little. They have been on a fucking tear. I think they're first or second in the league right now. But Darius, what are you seeing from Winnipeg and how they put everything together?
It's pretty honestly not. It's weird. Like I ride the line of like it's weird that they're this good, but also not, because I feel like they had it in them, but there was a couple cancers in the room, and I feel like that was
you're surprised, but you're not surprised at the same time.
I'm surprised because I feel like there was a lot of turnover and stuff like that, and obviously the leadership group changed, and you're like, how is the team going to react to that? But I'm not surprised in the same time because I know the return they got for Dubois is amazing, and we kind of know that they had it in them, right? And I think Bonus is a good coach as well. So, and they got the goaltender you were just talking about. Obviously, you need the good goaltending to be tops of the league, right? So they got that locked down, and I don't know. They're getting contribution from a lot of areas, and I think Kyle Connor, he just came back from injury this week, so that'll help them a lot. He got an empty net goal the other night, I saw. So I don't know. I'm a little surprised, but not at the same time. And I think Jets fans deserve it because they've been dealing with the cancers for a long time.
Like you said, Dubois and Wheeler are both gone. so that might have helped.
Oh, if we want to put names to it, but
I don't get it. Shifley and Hellebuck get their extensions. That's not something looming over anymore, right? And for my money, I think Hellebuck is the best goalie in the league, pretty handedly. I love Connor Hellebuck. Who's their backup? Is it Brossoit again?
Yeah, it's still Larry B.
He's playing.
Larry B.
He's also playing insane. When Connor got injured, they elevated Nick Ehlers. He steps in and becomes like a point of game player, which I think he always is. That's just a minutes thing, whether bonus likes him or not. Gabe Velarde is easily outproducing Pierre-Luc Dubois. Some might call it the Gabe Velarde trade now. Some might do that.
I think all of them should.
Yeah, because he is clearing him.
Amazing.
Defensively, they're solid. You got the Josh Morrisseys, the Dylan DeMellos. I think Dylan Sandberg has come in. He was a prospect Jets fans were hyped about for a few years. He's looked great. Just everything about them is going pretty handily right now. They're deep too. I think they have a trade deadline something in their pocket to make. They have prospects like McGrody, whatever they do with Hinola, Chaz Lucius, all those guys are great.
Brad Lambert.
Yeah, Brad Lambert.
The least Finnish sounding name ever, by the way.
Crazy.
Yeah, all those guys are still in the prospect pool, and draft picks are out there. So the Jets, man, they might be a wagon. Matt, what are you seeing from the vibes from
the
Winnipeg?
vibes around the town? Like this city is getting behind the team. Like at the start of the season, in our preview, they're like, okay, they're on the bubble. You know what? They're not going to make noise this season, but they will eventually, and eventually turn into this season. Like, honestly, I have to give credit to them. They completely bought into Rick Bowness' style. You can shuffle them all around the lineup. You got guys stepping up like Velarde, and I think they can go on a deep run this year.
I too, honestly.
They got the goaltending, dude.
Like, I honestly, hot take, I think they're better than Vancouver. Like, if Vancouver and Winnipeg met up in the playoffs, it would not go long.
Seems like Winnipeg plays a more playoff inclined style.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Winnipeg Jets, their play style, they treat every game like it's in April. Like it's they hound you. They've still got that streak of 3 or less goals given up each game. I forgot what it said. Is that 34 now?
It's something crazy.
34, 35. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
But the Jets are playing great. They are playing the Senators tomorrow in a matinee.
With no Mark Scheifele, by the way.
Yeah, who's been out a couple games now, but
yeah.
Ottawa kind of stinks. So
Ottawa does kind of stink.
Tim Stutzla ran the Habs fans out of the Senators building. So
keep in mind in our preview, I did have Ottawa finishing 6th in the Atlantic. I know a lot of people had them making the playoffs. I didn't see it. I
don't think I did. So the Jets have the Sens, the Bruins, and then a home and home against the Leafs late next week. So yeah, honestly, they have all the opportunity in the world to keep pumping out wins here. So that should be fun. Moving on now, the NHL All-Star jerseys were announced a couple days ago. I know you two you guys are jersey connoisseurs. I'll give my opinion first because it's not strong as per usual with these jerseys. They're a collab with Justin Bieber's brand Drew House. Obviously, the All-Star game is in Toronto. Seems like Bieber's going to be heavily involved with the festivities and the draft and stuff like that. So that's cool. One of the biggest pop stars in the world. And I like the jerseys. They're cool. I don't think they're the best jerseys in the world. People have complaints about the nameplates and the numbers. You guys can get into that. But I especially like the blue one. The blue jersey is really cool. I really like that one. Maybe in a year I'll get Matthews on it when it's like 50% off because that's always what happens with the All-Star jerseys and the Adidas deal and stuff. But Darius, I'll defer to you. I know you love these jerseys, so get into them here.
Love them. My initial reaction was, "What is that?" But as I've taken a step back and gotten out of my childlike reaction, they don't look that bad. I think they're fine actually. Like you said, the blue one is definitely the nicest. And then like the rest are fine. Like I don't see a problem with them. The nameplate and the number thing kind of looks goofy and like very 90s-ish. Like I know they're trying to do something different. Justin Bieber collab, Drew House, all that stuff. But the actual jerseys look fine. I just hope the nameplate isn't under the. I don't know. It just looks goofy, like minor hockey thing. But
it's more like European, if anything.
Yeah, it looks kind of I don't know. The back looks kind of goofy, but the jerseys themselves, like, people just want to find shit to be angry about, and they don't look that bad. I feel like there's been way worse NHL All-Star Game jerseys, like recently.
And also, like the Xbox jerseys. Those were.
2015. Those are awful.
Yeah, Xbox. That's a good way of putting it.
But I will say, for the 37-year-old guy named Bill, or
who definitely is wearing sunglasses in his profile picture.
The jersey's not for you, man. I'm sorry, it's not. At the end of the day, the NHL is trying to flip their marketing a little, and advertise to a younger, growing demographic, which I should always be doing. But sometimes you got to hear about the fourth liner on the Winnipeg Jets and how good he is. Matt, what do you think? What do you think about the All-Star Game jerseys?
At first, like, I really didn't like them. Like, my only complaint is how janky. Darius, if you want to put a picture up of this for those that are listening to the audio or the video, the NHL logo looks janky, like almost like.
I like that.
Like almost like it's an MS Paint version of the NHL logo. Like, it looks cool. Honestly, I don't mind like the nameplate and the numbers. I mean, it's something different.
I also don't. I think it's unique.
That's the part of the jersey I don't hate the most. Like, honestly, you know what? It's something different. It gives me like, yeah, early 2000s like fashion, those kind of vibes.
Yes.
Or like lowercase is cool.
Yes.
Which it is. I never type in all cap or with caps. It's
MF
too
Doom.
much effort. MF Doom. Yeah. The NHL All-Star Game, yeah, like you said, advertising to a younger demographic, sort of telling kids, hey, these are the best players wearing our jerseys. Yeah, I got nothing more to add other than, like, cool. They're collabing. It's Adidas's last ride in the All-Star in the All-Star world. So sure, let's see what.
I'm very excited for the city to get an All-Star game. I'm just living here. I think it'll be cool. I have tickets to the skills competition.
Nice.
Me and my dad are gonna go to that. So we'll see. I'm excited to see what it's like in person, because on TV it sucks.
It's terrible.
Yeah, there's far too much. That's the thing with the NHL on TV. They don't know how to
translate
what's the not so much translate the pace. It's very bad pacing. Like All-Star skills competition, the draft, the awards, like it's a lot of action and then nothing, and then action and then nothing. They don't know how to properly pace it, where it's like you can always keep somebody's attention going.
Yeah, just like have a celebrity do an interview or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like miking up the players on the ice, you're gonna get a lot of like very minimal answers and a lot of mumbling.
You gotta pick and choose who you mic up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like you need somebody that's interesting.
Yeah. I remember one time I think they mic'd up Tyler Seguin during the game. That was pretty good, actually. That was pretty funny. Obviously that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I think
like if who's the worst person that could mic up?
McDavid.
Okay, they're miking up. I don't know. Like Elias Lindholm, like
Tom Wilson.
No, Tom Wilson would be kind of cool though.
Probably.
Like
you'll probably fucking check someone in the head.
Probably.
But the jerseys are cool. All-Star game is February 4th or 5th. That weekend.
Third.
I'm not 100% sure. Third.
Yeah.
Wow. I went over 2. That's funny. But let's move on to the next thing here. Corey Perry talk.
Oh boy.
As we know, his contract was terminated. Friedman, you know what they do on that intermission panel, guys. Friedman says Perry has wanted to be a Leaf for a while. If there's mutual interest, he says, I'm sure, or like, I think it will happen. Darius, what are your thoughts?
If there's mutual interest, it should happen. Yeah, it should happen. He would be a great piece to add to the Leafs, right? I just don't know if it happens. Like, I don't know why, with the way the team is, like, I don't know what he thinks he can add that people they've brought in before have, they haven't been able to do that. So, I don't know. That's interesting. What?
We're not gonna win a cup if he comes here.
No, so I don't understand that move. I don't know. He's gonna go somewhere else, obviously, at some point soon.
Florida, right? He's going to Florida.
I could see Florida big time. That'd be
even back to Tampa.
Even back to Tampa or something. I don't think Tampa has the juice like they have had the last couple of years, but Florida would suck. And I could see him going to the Leafs. I just don't understand what he thinks is going to happen.
I do want to also say, we don't know what he did.
Right.
To get his contract terminated. Yeah. So that's the thing too.
If we want to speculate, I feel like it was something he would not have gotten in trouble for if he was on another team. But because it was with the Blackhawks are trying to,
Well, the Blackhawks also did another shitty thing.
Oh, no way.
I don't know if you guys saw that Westhead tweet. This is me paraphrasing here.
Yeah.
I think someone else came out and said something, and the Blackhawks essentially said it took them too long to report it, so they should drop the case. So,
Chicago Blackhawks, everybody.
Matt, where's Corey Perry going, and what does he bring to a team?
I'll just read a report here. Frank Saravalli of Daily Faceoff.
Disregard it.
Disregard it. You don't want the silver-haired fox, Frank Saravalli. Anyways, he said the Oilers. Yes, the Edmonton Oilers are on a list of 5 to 7 teams of Corey Perry's choosing. Honestly, I love him as an Oiler. He's a dickhead. We need more dickheads.
This is the thing. I feel like anytime
it's more lip service, but I'd love him as an Oiler.
That's what I'm saying. Anytime a reporter needs people to copy and paste their article or take an excerpt out, they'll mention the Leafs or the Oilers. It'll be Rasmus Ristolainen needs to build up his PR in the league. The Leafs are interested in Rasmus Ristolainen, guys. Leafs are interested. They're interested. It's yeah, I'm fucking sure. But it's crazy. I think Corey Perry's still at something, but we'll see.
He's 38, but I mean, in the playoffs, he's a different player.
Yeah.
We've seen it.
Multiple
close
times.
and personal, multiple times. Yeah.
Fuck that guy. Darius, I want you to talk about this a little bit because you were actually involved in this. The PWHL started January 1st.
Yeah.
And it's been really exciting to see everyone kind of embrace everything. I think what's cool about it is it's so easy to watch, right?
Yep.
It's so viewable, and that's what, surprise, that's what allows your league to grow quickly. Instead of blacking out or putting McDavid and Matthews on a regional broadcast.
Television, yeah. That's
and an amazing game.
In contrast, this is on YouTube.
Yes.
Yes. That's how I've been watching it.
People are gonna come out and say, "Oh, it's about the money and all that shit." I don't give a fuck. Let your fans watch your games.
Yep.
And Darius, I know you've been watching a little.
Yeah.
I know Matt has too. But Darius, you were involved with the PWHL in a little bit of a different way. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't know what I can or I won't go into specifics, but I made the PWHL Toronto's goal horn for this year. So if you hear it every time they score, which hasn't been too many times at home this year,
they're not great.
No, they're not great, but they've had flashes of brilliance. The way they lost the last game was pretty. I watched the whole thing; it was great. But the way they lost kind of sucked. So they're not as bad as the record shows, I think. But I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the year goes. But yeah, that was a cool opportunity. So if you go to any games or whatever, yeah, I did that. So pretty cool.
That's
but yeah,
cool.
to get into the league a little bit, I'm I don't know about you guys, but for some reason, I would say for some reason, but I'm all in. I'm paying attention to everything. It's really well done. Everything they've been doing is fantastic. The new rules are cool, the jailbreak penalty kill.
That's
very,
so sick.
very cool. They do the 3-point system, the 3-2
Yeah,
whatever
3-2-1,
point system.
yeah.
I don't know what people call it. 3-2-1. Minnesota so far
is a wagon.
Is a wagon. Yeah.
Is a wagon.
Minnesota so far is the best team. I think Boston might end up being up there as well. It's first or second. They haven't played as many games. But in the games they've played, they look like they'll be a strong contender too. And Montreal's up there too, but obviously they have one of the best players of all time.
Yeah,
The Montreal home games look sick.
Yeah.
Just looking at the standings here, Minnesota's in first place with 12 points, 3 regulation wins, 1 overtime win, and 1 overtime loss. And Montreal's in second, and Boston is in third, but they have 2 games in hand on Minnesota and Montreal because only Boston and Ottawa have played 3 games each. Everybody else has played 5.
Yes. So still some room there for Boston, which is a weird scheduling thing, but Ottawa's there as well, so that's weird. But
it should be good tomorrow because New York and Boston at 12:30. But it is a part of Sportsnet's Hockey Day in Canada coverage, which is kind of cool.
Really
they
cool.
sort of incorporated the PWHL into the daily broadcast or the yearly broadcast, which which is awesome because not only do you see all 7 Canadian teams in action, but you see some of the PWHL, and then Toronto, Montreal for the first time tomorrow night should be fun.
I have to say too that the coverage has been great because I don't know. I'm relying on the coverage for a lot of, like, I can watch the games and make my own conclusions, right? For at least Toronto, because I've been watching Toronto, but I'm not going to go out of my way to watch Minnesota, Boston, or whatever, right? So I've been relying on the coverage, and I just learned so much from the coverage. Like, sometimes I'll watch the Hockey Night in Canada or the NHL coverage, and they're talking about some shit like nobody would understand, and I'm like, I'm not even interested in this most of the time. And you watch the PWHL coverage, and it's like, oh, this storyline, and this person is connected to this person through this school, and the coach from the other team coached this team's best player, and like, you get all these storylines, and then like you actually get into their stats and they break things down and why this player is effective. Like, it's like so good, right? Like, it's so much better.
They do. The difference between NHL and PWHL is the PWHL, the commentary, the analysts, they explain stuff like to you and you get it, and they don't make you feel dumb.
Yeah.
Like, we're in the NHL, they're like, oh, guys, didn't you know Mario Lemieux had a 31-point game streak?
I feel like there's a sense of, like, you exactly said it there. Like, there's a sense of like, well, this happened, but you guys watching wouldn't understand that. And then they move on. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
Right.
Or like, hey, you watch the Olympics every 4 years. This is who she plays for, like, in their team, and you sort of start to make that connection. It's like, oh, familiar
Yes.
name.
They'll
and
be
then
like,
then you follow that team.
Yeah, they'll be like, you might remember her from her performance in the World Cup or whatever, the championships.
I think
World
that's so
Championships.
important because a lot of, honestly, sometimes the only way for people to indulge themselves in the best women's hockey players and best just play in general, it's through national tournaments, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Connecting someone to be like, oh, they did this at this tournament, which most people are watching, like at the Olympics and the World Championships every year. It's a good way to do it. Another thing, Darius, I want to add to your point about coverage. You're having like some of the biggest like Twitter personalities in hockey talk and tweet about the games, right? I think that's huge. And there's something about this league to me that makes me happy because it feels final. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like everything's going well.
Like, this is the one.
Yeah, this is what hockey fans, and especially women hockey fans who have been wanting to see their favorite players out, or people growing up wanting to, these guys are role models for people growing up, wanting to see them play more than once every 4 years. Like, it's cool that fucking Marie-Philippe Poulin plays all the time in front of everyone. It's sick. That's so sick.
And the thing with the best on best, sorry to cut you off, competition every 4 years is, it's so like every 4 years, obviously, but it's also country based. So now you got everyone mixing, right? And it's like, well, this is like, I'm in with Boston, right? And this is my team, and I like the players on Boston, and you get to make that relationship, right?
Well, I also like that you had people from the PWHPA come play here. And you also had some people that were in the, what was that league? The PHF, right? That was what it was called?
I don't remember. The most recent one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, PHF.
Like, you had all the best players as it should, because one of the, like, no disrespect, but one of the reasons I found myself having trouble watching the PHF is because I wanted to see the marquee names that I was able to see at the Olympics, right? And unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. But one thing I'm also looking forward to, I think what's going to really reel me in, is when we get branding and logos and jerseys and colors. I think that's what's gonna be it for me. I'm not still a year out. I've still been tuning in, and a lot of what I've been doing is Twitter watching or social media watching, seeing all the highlights. It's sick. The crowd reactions, the superstardom, everything going on. But I think what I'm excited for is people, because I don't know how many people are buying the jerseys right now, if any. But I think what's gonna be cool is, like, the pride of wearing the jersey.
When that happens,
When that happens.
No, I get that. Like, next year, people are gonna buy jerseys with the team's logo, their favorite player on the back.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. I don't see that happening this year. You're right.
You know how many Sarah Nurse jerseys you might see around Toronto next year? It'll be crazy.
Yeah.
It'll be sick.
It'll become a thing. Like, it'll be like people wear Leafs jerseys around, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's gonna become a thing I think that's the most important thing. Like, these young girls have something to look at now and be like, I can do that. And
I can see myself in that.
I can see myself there, yeah. Right? And exactly, that's so important. And they're going to walk around with their idols' jerseys on. Like, I think that's, like, I don't know, that's something I did, right? Like, so, and now they could do it, and it's real. So.
Yeah. No, dude, it's so important, because growing up, like, I got a Leafs jersey. The first Leafs jersey I got was my own name on the back because there was a bunch of bums on the team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Eventually, I got I had a Jonathan Bernier. I was a big Bernier fan for some reason. I don't know why, but
I hated Bernier. He took Reimer's job. I was not a fan.
I really liked him. My dad had a Reimer jersey and I had a Bernier jersey. So every time we go to a Leafs game, each of us would wear one to be sick. And then eventually Matthews comes down and it's like, I guess every Leafs jersey I'm getting is gonna be Matthews now.
Yeah.
Anytime I buy a Leafs jersey myself, it's Matthews, easily. So stuff like that. For people that are watching the PWHL, I think it's gonna be sick. I'm very happy with how things are going, and I think it doesn't matter honestly how I feel about it. It matters that the demographic they're going for, they're enjoying it, everyone's enjoying it. It's good to see there's no negatives except for like we said, the your uncle on Twitter who has sunglasses and a goatee.
first name bunch of numbers on Twitter
who are trying to tell me that the league isn't physical, which from the clips I've seen,
it's physical.
It's a physical brand in hockey, man.
It's great, and they put the whistles away, but not in a stupid way, right? They're just like, okay, this is what is available.
You can't
today.
run around.
No. Yeah. This is the level of physicality that's available today, and everyone's gonna play to that. And then if it gets out of hand, they call penalties, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
exactly.
what a concept!
It's great.
Who knew?
It's great.
Yeah.
Who knew?
But yeah, let's again, we're gonna try and cover the PWHL as much as we can on this show. Just because people are locked in, it's great, but we are gonna move on.
Yeah, I guess I got to cheer for Minnesota because I'm a Vikings fan as well. So, and that's technically the closest.
Matt, cheer for Toronto, so we can all like the same team.
Yeah, come on, for once.
We can all like the same team, Matt.
Matt, come on, you're just cheering because they're first, man. That's all it is.
Bandwagon.
Yeah. You know what? Start from the bottom. Go PWHL Toronto.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Because they have a nurse that's actually good.
But let's move on. Darius.
Yeah.
Who is Terry Ryan?
Oh, that's a loaded question. Terry Ryan is a former professional, or I guess current in a way, professional hockey player. He played in the WHL for a bunch of different teams. I think he played for Red Deer, two other teams.
Tri-City.
Tri-City. I think he played for one more, maybe. Can't remember. He was he could score, but he was also a very tough guy. Could fight. Drafted by the Montreal Canadiens. I'm not sure how many games he actually played in the NHL. Eight. Yeah. So he was there. He was in the mix. He had a great interview recently on the SDP where he talks about his mistakes and all that stuff. So obviously fell off, but he stays active. He plays in senior league, stuff like that. Slowly got into acting. Now he's on the show Shoresy. He's made cameo appearances on Letterkenny. And he's done a lot of work behind the scenes with actors like Jason Momoa, stuff like that. So pretty cool. He's proud, from Newfoundland. He's the pride of Newfoundland. And anyway, if you haven't watched Shoresy, he's fantastic in that. So as an actor, he's great. But he's a pretty good hockey player still too. All of that to say, he was signed to a one-day contract or whatever it is by the Newfoundland Growlers because of injuries and all this other stuff. They just needed somebody the roster filling or whatever. And he wasn't really supposed to play. He was just supposed to be on the bench and fill the roster. But they ended up playing him quite a few shifts. Matt Cook, who's the in charge down there. Yeah, the reaction.
Wow,
which is insane.
Which is
insane.
Which is crazy. But anyway, yeah, he got to say there. So he took one shift. He started, which was nice because he's he's from there. He goes to games. It's an amazing backstory if you Google him and stuff, right? So he ended up getting into the game, and then they were down 7-2 or something, and he ends up scrapping. Getting in a fight because somebody nailed one of his teammates, and he was playing a little bit more than he thought he was in the third because the score was being run up, right? He's also 47, which is crazy. The fact that he got into a game too. So it's just I don't know. It's just an amazing story. I wanted to bring it up. I wanted to bring it up because it's a cool story, incredibly unique. And I've watched Shoresy. I think the show is great. I love Jared Keeso and what he's been able to do with, niche topics like hockey, but make the show not about hockey. I don't know how to describe it, but it's great. You would enjoy it even if you didn't like hockey, right? So he's brilliant in that show too, Terry Ryan. So I thought it was a cool story. I wanted to bring it up, and he's getting his praise right now, his flowers, and he deserves it. So there you go.
I think it's cool. In the SP interview, the self-awareness and humbleness he has now. Just going through a life experience. But I will say, I didn't know this. scored 50 goals in the W in '95.
He was a great player. Like, he was a top tier talent. He was a really good player.
He was a 8th overall draft pick.
Yep. To the Montreal Canadiens. Like, it was a big deal.
Yeah, damn.
You should watch some of his highlights too. He's a character. He's a good player.
I didn't even know all that. I didn't even know all that. But
Yeah.
you know, despite all that happening, he still carved out a decent professional career.
Yep.
More than any of us can say. So, yeah, it's definitely a cool story. Matt, I don't know if you have anything to add on to this, but yeah. It was
not a whole lot. No. On YouTube a bunch of years back, there was a video of him on Hockey Night in Canada. It was like after his first game. It's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. He must have been good, eh? And he wasn't. So
unfortunate. That's
I
sometimes though.
I might have to read his book because I just found out he wrote a book a few years ago. So that honestly, I love reading any hockey type books. Jordan Tutu's 2 books, really good. Recommend those. So I'll have to give that one a whirl as well.
I just want to say too, he was always good. What happened was he didn't report for training camp, and then they sent him down to I guess Hamilton at the time, and Michel Therrien was there. He didn't like Michel Therrien, so they didn't get along. So he kind of like bounced around, and then once you're in that spot, you're just bouncing around the AHL, and then that's it, right? Like, so it's not like the talent wasn't there. It was just like politics and stuff and bad decisions.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens. At the end of the day, shit happens. But Matt, speaking of books, have you read what's that Gretzky book he wrote called like Stories of the Game or something?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've got that one.
know-
I got that for
you know-
Christmas one year.
Well, I remember one time. This is an aside. We're done with the Terry Ryan segment. Just
Yeah.
put a bow on that.
Now we're on to books.
No, not for long because I don't read. I cannot
okay.
tell you the last book I've read. I bought Logic's biography because I wanted to read it. Didn't read it.
Yeah, just sitting there.
Didn't read it. But the Gretzky book, I remember one time I was going through I was just in my storage room in the basement. Like this might have been 3-4 years ago now. And I see the book. I opened it and it was signed.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was
Wow.
like, I ran upstairs to my dad. I'm like, Dad, what the fuck? You never mentioned this. We have a signed Wayne Gretzky book in the house, and it's in the basement collecting dust.
Just chilling. Yeah. Not protected. Just like on the bookshelf.
We have an old stick, like an Easton wooden stick from the '90s, signed by Doug Gilmour, and it just sat in the garage because my dad didn't care.
Wow.
It just sat in the garage.
I'm sure the termites
what?
cared.
And you know what? I don't know where it is because we moved. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea where it is because we
Bro,
moved.
it's a Doug Gilmour signed stick.
There's a backstory to that I can't share.
Oh, okay.
For reasons as to why it was in the garage. I can maybe tell you guys after. But but yeah.
Yeah, I think the last book I read on that topic was I think I reread Mick Foley's first book.
Nice.
Like
we have a mini book club on every show now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
The last book I read, no, I'm being serious. I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Pop on
new
Pop.
book. No, Arnold Schwarzenegger's new book. That was very good. I also
read
have
the
to write.
Andrew Tate book.
I was gonna read Brian Burke's book. It's sitting on my bookshelf, but I have to get to that at some point.
I read that Andrew Tate book. It was pretty good.
Did you
Changed my life.
really?
Changed my life. Changed my life, guys.
Change my life.
Yeah, changed my life.
Are we gonna do wrestling?
Yeah, let's get into it. What's going on in wrestling, guys?
Matt, start.
Well, everyone's like my second favorite pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever the Vince McMahon lingo is for it now. The Royal Rumble is coming up. It's taking place in Tampa Bay, Florida. And there's it's one of those years where it's wide open. Like you don't know who's going to win it. There's the obvious favorites like Seth Rollins, CM Punk. Is it going to be a returning guy? Is it going to be The Rock? It's one of those years where it's like it's unpredictable. The Rock.
Isn't he just gonna fight Roman at WrestleMania? Isn't it the plan?
Who knows?
I have a theory.
Oh, you have a theory? You have an Austin theory?
There's no way.
No,
I'm gonna say there's no way. People were talking about he's gonna face Roman at Elimination Chamber, and then he could face
Okay.
Cody at WrestleMania.
Can we put that to bed right now?
Put it to bed right now.
Elimination Chamber is on at
5
5 a.m. Eastern. Okay, he's not gonna fight in there.
They're not gonna. And Dwayne's not going to London for that. Fuck off.
It's in
Australia.
Oh, Australia,
which is even crazier.
Yeah.
I mean, Australia did have people from London at the start.
Yeah, man.
Do you not know about the backstory on Australia?
No, yes.
Can
Okay,
we not,
good.
Why are we hashing out the backstory of Australia on a fucking hockey
Why not?
podcast?
Why not?
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
Royal
just the
Rumble.
way it
It's
rolls.
the second best pay-per-view of the year. Yes.
I'd
Yeah.
argue it's the best. Some years.
Oh, Nick, who's
No, I
winning?
can see it. I can see it.
Who's winning?
Who's winning right now?
Who's
Right off the rip.
Rob Van Dam.
Darius, who's winning? Or
The Undertaker. No, I think.
Yo, hold on, pause. Did
yeah.
you guys hear that report about the Undertaker being like in really good health and they might bring him back for a match?
I wouldn't. Just
oh,
stop.
please don't.
Apparently
please.
he's in like unbelievably good health.
No,
I'm sure he is. You know why? Because he hasn't wrestled.
He's in better health than he was when he was 20, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's
fine.
what it is. Yeah, he's
fine.
I wouldn't, but it's WWE, so they do an end of an era match and then they do the same match like 4 years later.
No, Darius, they'll just send him to Saudi Arabia.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's exact.
Remember
CM
that
Punk,
match, DX and Brothers of Destruction?
I don't know what match you're talking about.
That's the one I'm talking about. Like, why did they do
Bald
that?
Shawn Michaels. Bald Shawn Michaels.
He's in great shape though, actually. Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels. But anyway,
Best best health of his life. Right now.
yep, for sure. CM Punk is gonna
let's drop him on
win.
his head.
CM Punk's gonna win the Rumble. He's gonna choose. Actually, things could get pretty interesting because I don't know if it's a work or not. But Rollins is hurt and he's the champion.
Oh, what a mark. Shut up if it's a work or not.
I don't know. But
Look at this guy reading the dirt sheets.
What? I don't know. CM Punk's probably gonna
It's not
win.
a shoot.
If
Darius, it's not a
everything
shoot.
if everything goes well, he's gonna face Seth Rollins, and I think at WrestleMania it's gonna be a triple threat for the undisputed Universal Championship.
Honestly, it'd be awesome if
Against who?
Gunther won.
It's gonna be yeah. Let me put on my Paul Heyman hat for a second. It's going to be Roman Reigns versus The Rock versus Cody Rhodes, and Cody
That
Rhodes
sounds
is
fucking
finally going to show everyone why there's more than one royal family in wrestling.
And then he's gonna pin The Rock. Is that what?
Oh, and then yeah.
He's gonna,
There, I
he's
just
gonna
booked that match.
He's gonna pin Rikishi.
Rikishi runs in it.
Why not just bring everyone back and put them all in a match?
I think if The Rock does come back, like if he is in WrestleMania, they're gonna have to do something huge. Like I feel like everyone is gonna be involved in that match somehow. Like it's gonna be nuts.
Fucking Hulk Hogan. He's gonna show up.
Brother.
My brother Dwayne,
Brother, I watched you grow up, brother. You need to win another chip, brother.
But also on the card, Logan Paul against Kevin Owens for the United States Championship.
Can I just say?
Paul's a good wrestler.
Can I just say it? Logan Paul, I
Like the guy's a scumbag, but he's a good wrestler.
yes, he's super entertaining. Like put your personal feelings aside about what he did before and all this shit.
He's an entertainer.
As an entertainer, like he gets it, right? Like he pulls you in, and he's genuinely good at wrestling. Like he gets it.
God, he fought Roman Reigns for the title, didn't he?
Yes.
In Saudi Arabia.
And consistently, every live event he's on, he has a moment. Like he does something
Crazy
new.
spot, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that's
gonna go
great.
fuck. He's gonna go fuck.
He really does. Didn't he tear his ACL or something on a
Yeah, I think so.
WrestleMania?
I will say though, something about Kevin Owens, underrated. That
Yeah.
guy's an underrated theme song. I think
Yes.
I was watching videos of like Kevin Owens returning. That shit is so fucking hype.
Yeah.
And like he also like Kevin Owens like looks the part. I remember one time he came out to save Sami Zayn, and he's like looking through Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sick.
He's the
It was so
prize
cool.
fighter. That's what he is.
He's so sick.
I've
So
always
sick.
said that
I fucking love KO.
him and The Miz are the most underappreciated wrestlers like ever of all time.
I argue Ziggler too.
Ziggler too. Yeah, I could see that. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Dolph.
TNA.
Who's in I think he's like in TNA / like New Japan Pro Wrestling under his real name now.
Yeah.
Whoa, is that a Forbidden Door thing? What the fuck?
No,
It's gonna be a three-way Forbidden Door, TNA, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Remember when, there was reports about WWE doing a Forbidden Door last Royal Rumble, and people were speculating between like I think it was MJF, probably MJF,
Oh yeah, maybe.
but I don't know what's going on.
I think he signed with AEW.
Yeah.
I think he got that bag because if he leaves, they're in trouble.
Dude, Tony Khan is a weird guy.
Like his
what he
tweets,
does.
like he's unhinged.
Didn't he get like do a rant on Jinder Mahal?
Yeah.
Don't hinder Jinder, and he hindered Jinder.
He tried to.
And then
He tried to.
Jinder came back at him with the ratings, and he's like, because
Cooked his ass.
he was talking about
his
one
ass.
of the AEW's wrestlers, and Jinder was like, "Who is that?" And also, we did like 3.5 million.
Oh yeah, it was Hook.
Yeah.
Although
Shout out Jinder.
shout out to Smojo, finally got the AEW World Title.
Joe,
Yeah.
Joe,
Joe.
Joe,
I love Samoa Joe. Ever since he's in
Joe.
TNA,
I
or even like
always
Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I love Samoa Joe on TV.
Dude, he was dirty in WWE too. He just kept getting injured.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Like that. Remember that package he did with that thing he did with Brock.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he put Brock on his level.
Yeah.
Like that was
Dude, he was bitching these guys in the during the promos too.
the coquina clutch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And I remember the promo between it was him, Rock, and Roman. Joe was just like slapping those guys around. That was so crazy.
And you believed it too.
Of course.
Like
That's why
you
it's
could
so
believe
good. Yeah, he's so good at it. Like
He was
that's
crazy.
what it is, man.
Sorry.
Or what's the
Sorry,
thing
Nick.
he did? What's the thing he did with AJ Styles? The Wendy.
Oh,
thing?
Wendy.
Wendy. That
Yeah.
shit was so fucking funny. Oh my god.
Like that was.
I remember one time he came out. He was like, Jeff Hardy, congratulations. I'd offer you a drink, but it doesn't seem like the best thing right now. That shit was so fucking funny.
There was another
Oh my-
time he came out and he's like to Jeff, he's like, pretend this is an AA meeting and shut your mouth or something. And then they zoom out and you see Randy like, oh shit.
Dude, that guy was funny. But Matt, there was one more thing you wanted to talk about. It's a little bit more niche, I think, right?
Oh, with wrestling? Oh yeah, like niche / big. Oh, like in the wrestling world. Mr. New Japan himself, Kazuchika Okada, leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's speculation on what he's gonna do. Maybe WWE, because AEW and New Japan sort of have like this working relationship. They have the Forbidden Door pay-per-view every year. So it wouldn't really make sense to leave New Japan outright when they have a working relationship. So I think he might be WWE bound, or even like TNA bound, but TNA doesn't have the checkbook for Okada
No,
because
it's
this
looking
dude
like
is the real
WWE.
deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking
he
like
like-
WWE.
Is he like like Nakamura type shit, or is better?
Like Nakamura, but like even bigger. Like
wow.
he's
Okay.
probably like the best Japanese wrestler,
Who was that
like
guy?
modern.
Who was that guy in NXT that was supposed to be the next big thing, but he was like
Oh,
like,
Hideo
wrestling-
Itami.
Yeah, wasn't it like wrestling's first bust? I remember hearing about that.
Yeah,
Wrestling's first
It
blood.
was Hideo Itami, but he was Kenta, like in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Is he still wrestling?
Yeah, he's Kenta. He's in All Japan Pro Wrestling, I want to say. Yeah, he's in All Japan.
There's New Japan, All Japan. What about Old Japan?
Because
What about
there's a
current?
bunch of there's a bunch,
right now.
there's All Japan, there's Dragon Gate, there's Pro Wrestling Noah, which was Mitsuharu Misawa's promotion. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in Japan.
Well, that's cool. But guys, let's wrap the show there. Maybe we'll do a weekly wrestling news roundup just to. We'll probably cut this and
Wait.
put it
Just
on-
in case, because I
Yeah,
think
what's
by
up?
the time we record the next episode, or I don't know if things get hairy, who knows? It might be the Royal Rumble. So who wins? Everyone's
it might
predictions
be.
for sure. Who's winning the Royal Rumble?
Gunther.
Who's
They're
leading the
Gunther.
betting?
Oh, I
Who's
like
leading the
that.
betting odds right now?
CM Punk.
CM Punk.
I think so. Yeah.
That-
I'll go with CM Punk because
Oh,
I just
dude,
feel like it's gonna
I'm
happen.
just thinking that there's no way it's not CM Punk.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because I think he loses the Rumble to Cody, but Punk wins the Chamber.
You
That's
think the
my
championship gonna be
thinking.
like a number one contender chamber?
That's what they
Yeah.
do now. Yeah.
Oh, they don't do it for the championship anymore.
No.
No.
What the fuck?
Yep.
I remember that shit. You know why I remember that shit? Because fucking Cena beat Styles and then lost it 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I was fucking cheese. I was
Oh
so
yeah,
mad.
to Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt.
My
Rest in
favorite
peace, but-
favorite moment is when Edge loses the first chamber match of the night and then he beat up Kofi Kingston and then took his spot in that chamber match and then won the
think-
world title.
I think one of the best chamber moments is when the champion loses early.
Yeah, because then you're like,
You
oh,
know
it's gonna
it's gonna
happen.
be someone new.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
do like
for
that.
for my money, like the first Chamber is the best.
That is probably the best one, yeah, in general.
Yeah.
I like the one where Shawn just pulled up and just beat the shit out of the Undertaker.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
2010.
10.
Yeah, like you should, I remember. Okay, well, I never used to watch pay-per-views obviously because number one, didn't know how to stream it legally, and didn't want to pay for it. So I would always I remember I woke up and you just see like Undertaker on the ground and Shawn Michaels just looking over him. I was like, what the fuck happened? So
Oh, I used to love those. You wake up in the morning and then they have like
WWE.com.
Yeah,
WWE.com.
yeah, and you're like, what
Oh
up?
my
And you see
God.
the headline, but you're like,
Yeah,
what is
I'd
this
always
photo?
like refresh like during the pay-per-view because like after each match that would be like the picture
Yeah,
on the
they
main
used to-
menu.
Oh, that's so sick.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, and it would just continuously update match by
Can I
match.
tell a story real quick? Like before we wrap
Sure.
up, since we're
Yeah,
on the
sure, yeah.
topic. So one time, I think it was Breaking Point. Do you remember that pay-per-view? Like 2009?
Yes.
2009, the
So-
only
Yeah.
breaking point.
So like on the TV provider thing, because back in the day you couldn't like stream. I don't know. It's all different now, right? So like on the preview thing, they used to with a TV provider, you could press like a button to buy it, a button to search info on it, like what it's about and who's fighting, and then a button to preview it. You could watch it for 2 minutes live, right? For free.
That's crazy. What the fuck?
Yeah. So I remember
What's on at 10:58?
Yeah. No, I remember like clicking into it or whatever, and I'm watching like the ECW championship match or whatever, and then it like cut out, right? And then I tried to do it again, but it accidentally like went to buy, and instead of like, you know how most things are like automatically on no, and then you have to scroll to yes? So
Yeah.
it was on yes. So I just bought it, and then it automatically charges you through your provider. So I had to go to my parents and be like, yeah. So it was a good pay-per-view.
I think I've told this story before. I remember one time for my birthday, my parents were like, Nick, we're gonna buy you WrestleMania. My birthday's March 1st. WrestleMania is like a couple weeks later. So they were like, you know what, Nick? Matt, your camera is shaking so much right now.
Oh, sorry. That's
Is there wind?
there's wind. All right,
I'm sorry.
continue.
I had to say something. I'm sorry. They were like, Nick, we're gonna buy you WrestleMania. I'm like, they're gonna buy me WrestleMania. Bet I'm gonna be able to sit on my couch on the big TV, 1080i, and watch WrestleMania. I don't know if you guys remember this story. Which WrestleMania do you think they bought? Just guess.
Oh.
This was a while ago.
WrestleMania 28.
7.
What happened in 27 again?
27 was
the Miz and
Miz
John
Cena.
main event with The Rock coming in at the end.
Yes.
It was that one,
was
right?
the one they bought. That was the one they bought.
And it was, dude, in that whole era, I feel like it was not the best one.
Bro, I just remember when The Rock came out, restarted the match, gave John Cena the rock bottom, and the Miz won. I was like, I looked at my dad. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
What did you think of Snooki wrestling?
That was the same one too.
You know what's
my
funny?
god.
The only thing I remember about that WrestleMania is the main event. I don't remember anything else.
No, I don't either.
Like, that was such an awful mania because outside of the main
Dude, the
event,
double counter, I wanted to fucking kill myself.
Well, you
And
can
then-
hear the crowd. They're like, what?
Yeah.
We're not
Oh
leaving
my
like
goodness.
that. What?
I think we bought WrestleMania again next year because it was Rock and Cena. My dad was hype and I was hype. So and then Cena lost clean. I was like, come on, man, The Rock hasn't wrestled in 10 years. He hasn't wrestled in 10 years. He's losing the big match, John. Come on.
I know. I thought the first time they were gonna put like Cena over, and then Rock was gonna go away or whatever. I thought that's what the plan was.
I guess putting Cena over for the title made more sense, but you took the belt away from Punk for that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that didn't need a title.
Let's not open the rabbit. Let's not open the rabbit hole there.
They ruined the
Let's not
whole
make-
landscape of the company to do that a year later. But
and then
anyway,
Punk left the next year, right at the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
I think.
After the Royal Rumble.
After
All right,
the
guys. Anyway, let's wrap the show here. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow all our Twitters. Follow all our Instagrams. All that fun stuff. And with all that being said, guys, hope everyone had a great Christmas, even though it was almost a month ago. Hope everyone had a great New Year. I'm wishing everyone the best health all 2024. Enjoy yourselves, but take some time out for yourself. All that good stuff. But guys, that being said, if you're watching this in the day, have a great day. If you're watching this at night, have a great night. And if you're listening to this while driving, all I say for me, for Matt, for Darius, for the Gritcast, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.